so much fun. So, you know, eventually, well, thank you all for coming. It's nice to see all your shining bright faces today. And so what we're going to learn today is how to make homemade Pop-Tarts, or some people call them hand pies. And these are great for the season because you can switch up the flavors and make them as seasonal as you like. Today I'm doing a pumpkin pie filling, where you can do apple, you can do any kind of, s'mores, all these great different things. And the best part about them is that the ingredients are made from local farmers. So you have the pumpkin pie filling is from Red Fire Farms, and the dairy is Maple Lion, and you get to use all these amazing local vendors that you might see here at the farmers market, or at All Things Local, or any of these great, amazing places that sell local product. So to start out with, I've included a couple of recipes here, and it's for the Pop-Tart dough, which is any kind of pie. It's called a pie dough, but we call it Pop-Tart for this reason, and the pumpkin pie filling. So what you want to do is, if you have a food processor, you can do this either in the food processor at home, or you can also just do it in a bowl with a hand, it's called a pastry cutter. And you're going to mix in your dry ingredients, which is flour, sugar, salt, and you mix those together so they're nice and combined. And then you will take a cup of butter, which is going to be ice cold. That's the key to making a flaky pastry crust. And you cut it in. Your pastry cutter, you just physically manually do it until it's about a pea size, or you can just do it right in your blender at home, and it'll do it for you. It's about 2 minutes versus 10 minutes. And then all it is an egg and milk. You're going to mix those two together until they're consistent, and then add them into your dry dough. So you mix that together. When it comes out, it's very flaky. So this is what the dough looks like, and I put it into this plastic casing just because it's transporting here. But I can show you, it's very, very flaky and falls apart. That's good. You want it to be like that. But what you want to do is you're going to put it in your plastic saran wrap, and then with your palm, this is a little baker's trick. So the butter, basically it's flaky because the butter has not attached to the flour yet. So with your palm, you're just going to physically kind of massage it all in there, and that will make your dough very consistent. And then the trick is you have to refrigerate it. So now you can see it's, although it's flaking off my hands, it's not flaking in there. It's nice and sturdy. So now what you want to do is refrigerate that until it becomes a little harder, so about 30 minutes is good. And then also take it out for 30 minutes to let it come to room temperature. A little bit soft and pliable is good. You just don't want it to be rock hard, so that when you roll it out, it's nice and ready to be moved around. And then also, before you get all your dough ready, you want to have your filling ready too. So this is pumpkin butter. So I call it pumpkin pie filling because when you bake it together, it tastes just like pumpkin pie. And it's pumpkin, apple juice, ginger, cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, and sugar. This is a great recipe that you can do anything you like with it. You could add chai spice and make it a pumpkin chai filling. You could make it, instead of apple juice, you could do apple cider. Just add a little bit more of a tang to it. And the idea with this is very simple. You just put all the ingredients in a big pot, stir it together, and you let it come to a boil, and then cook for 30 minutes. And the trick to that is to stir it pretty much every 2 minutes to make sure that the bottom is cooking as much as the top layer. And you'll see it comes down to a nice consistency. Conveniently have some made already. We don't have people in the back like Food Network doing it for us. So you'll see it comes out to be a beautiful consistency. It's nice and thick, and it's creamy. It tastes just like the creaminess of the butter. So,
what kind of pumpkin did you roast? Did you roast one?
I did. I used sugar pumpkin. And in order to do that, all you have to do is take a regular pumpkin. Sugar is what I like to do. Those are specifically for pumpkin pies normally. And I roast it in the oven with the skin on. You have it, take out the seeds. Roast it with the skin on for about 30 minutes. No oil or anything, just as is. Works perfectly fine. And then the skin will come right off, and you place it in your blender, blend it together. It's very, very easy. It's a little bit more time consuming, but it's worth it because that flavor is so much more strong than the canned pumpkin, which is also delicious, but why do that when you have, so many amazing resources here? So other fillings I've done in the past are apple pies, apple cranberry. People tend to love the Nutella peanut butter chocolate ones. Can't say no to those, they're delicious. So today we'll just do the pumpkin. So as you can see, I've taken my dough out of the container, out of the plastic at this point. And I've worked it together a little bit with my hands just so that it's all the same consistency. And it's pretty pliable. This is a little different than a normal pastry dough because it has the egg in there, so it's more flexible. And you want to put a little flour onto your board. You can be a little bit more relaxed. And then you want to turn your dough every couple of rolls so that it doesn't stick to your board, and move it around. If it's sticking to your rolling pin, just add a little flour. And you're looking for a 1/4 inch thickness. If you're doing them very tiny, a little thinner is okay. You can go down to 1/8 of an inch. Again, it's a very pliable dough. You can see it's not that fragile. It can be messed around a little bit because it has that egg in there. So you can go a little thinner. If you like a really thick crust, why not?
Does the egg make a difference in the taste of the dough opposed to a regular pastry dough with no egg? Like, does it?
It does. Yeah, it gives them a little bit more richness, I would say.
Okay.
Especially, again, putting in a little prop out to Stone Soup Farms. That's where I got their eggs. Their yolks are almost the same size as the whites. So that's a really rich egg. You can tell. You can actually see it in the dough. I don't know if you can see it from far away. It is bright yellow. You can see where the egg has landed in this. So it is a little bit more rich. Not quite as flaky, but it has that nice dough pie taste that you want. So this is about a 1/4 inch thickness, and it's consistent all the way through. So. Now what I did today, just for the samples, was this fantastic little fluted edges cookie cutter. Just because they're samples, I think this is a good size. They kind of look like raviolis, which I think is fun. My cousins call them raviolicious. And for the seasonal aspect, you can do any shape that you can think of. So I brought in today a gingerbread man or woman, gingerbread person, snow person, and just to be easy, we have a dreidel. You can do any shape, and this works for any season as well. In the summer, you could do maybe to look like an apple or a piece of fruit. And it would tell you what is in the inside as well. So we'll do for this one, we'll just do a gingerbread man. So you're going to cut it. And it was a little warm. So you want to do 2 pieces for every 1 Pop-Tart you're going to make. Because you have a top and bottom. This dough can also sit out of the fridge for a good long time. So if you want to do multiple batches, you can shape them all at once and then bake them in multiple batches. It's a perfectly fine dough to make ahead of time. You can make the dough 1 to 2 days ahead, the filling as many days ahead as you like your filling made. And then you can assemble these and freeze them or refrigerate them for up to a week. Freezing for a week, refrigerating about 2 days, and then bake them off as needed. So you can do them for a nice holiday party. I'll do the dreidel too. And whenever you're done with your dough, we say that this dough has a 3 roll-out max. So you can roll it the first time, it's going to be perfectly flaky, delicious. The second time, a little less flaky, still delicious. The third time, you're going to be giving that away to the people you don't really like at your parties. So that has a 3 roll-out max. So we'll put it at that to the side for now. Okay, so now with my pumpkin pie filling, what I'm going to do is take it into, I like to use 2 spoons. I find that it helps me shape it a little bit. And you don't want to put too much filling because it will spill out in the baking process. Especially if you're doing a gingerbread man, it's a little funny shaped. So put it right in the center. tasting, even if it's not a whole lot of filling in there. If you're doing fresh fruits, or if you're doing any sort of larger piece of produce like that, you could do them savory with ham and egg as well. If you're doing those, you just want to chop it up very finely so that it will fit in well and it won't spill out during the cooking process. So now what you do is take your egg wash, which is egg and a little bit of milk whisked together, and you can take that with your pastry brush. We're going to pretend that I have it here today. And you're going to line just exactly on the outside corners, and that's going to help your pastry seal to itself so that it doesn't expand too much in the oven and explode on you. So you're just going to gently press the edges together. You don't want to lose your shape too much. Again, these are very simple. They will stay together in your refrigerator, in the baking process, so don't worry about losing the shape too much. Pre-baking. Make as many as you like at a time, freeze half, bake them off when you need them, and then you're going to refrigerate that until it's cold. So if you want to bake them the same day, refrigerate for about 30 minutes, then take them out of the refrigerator. Again, take your egg wash, and you're going to brush it right over the top of the dough, and that's going to help it make a nice golden crust. And then you're going to bake it for about, depending on the size, if you're doing a really big one, they can go in for up to about 12 minutes. Smaller ones are usually around more 8 to 10. And once they go a little round, they go very round very quickly. So you just want to keep an eye on them to make sure that they're not getting too overcooked. And then you have your end product. So these are the shaped ones I just wanted to show you. You can do all sorts of shapes for your holiday season, and then these are just simple little handouts. Now, I think these are great for a cookie slaw because there's something unique. There's not many people would do them, and they're a little different. You get that wow factor is what I like to call it.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Can we try one?
Yes, please. These are for sampling. Help yourself to as many as you like.